Welcome to Authentic Wellness with Joni and Joey. I'm Joni.
And I'm Joey.
Today we'll be talking about essential oils.
I know, I am really excited about this. I have to admit, I don't really know a lot about essential oils. As we said in the beginning, we're going to learn along with you. Today is my learning day.
Well, I still feel like I have a lot to learn, but I have been using oils for, I would say, 5 or 6 years.
Yeah?
If you could see the stash I have upstairs, you would probably laugh at me.
I probably wouldn't because I have a similar stash, but I don't know what to do with it. I open the drawer and I go, I don't know what to do with you, and I just close it back.
Well, there's certain ones that I actually use every day. And then there's certain ones that I'll look up because I feel like oils can be medicine sometimes.
Right.
So I'll look up, I'll Google it, or I have an app that I use sometimes, and let's say I have a hangover. Grapefruit's good for that. Grapefruit's good for that.
Grapefruit.
Couple drops here, put it on the back of your neck, breathe it in, and in no time you're feeling good.
Is that right?
Yes.
So see, what I need to understand is, how do you find this out? I bought this book. I'm old school. I like books instead of apps.
Yeah.
It's called, I think it was like The Essential Life or something. And you could look up whatever ailment, like if I'd looked up hangover, and it would take me to this page and it would have this like list of oils that I needed to mix together and do this and do that. And it's like I said, I just get overwhelmed by it. Yeah, so I need it simplified, like child version of here's how you use essential oils.
Well, our guest today, Lisa Murray, can probably help us with a little of that.
That would be fantastic.
And then there's a couple resources that maybe we can introduce. I can tell you about a few that will
love it.
Yeah.
All right, well, stay tuned.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. Oh my gosh, I am so excited.
We're excited to have you. I want to introduce Lisa Murray. She's with us to talk essential oils today.
Yes, yes.
I can't wait to hear what you have to say. You walked in and the place, not that it smelled bad, but it immediately smelled better. So I know that's not the whole point, but man, they smell good.
Well, I think I was using all the oils this morning, feeling a little bit nervous. So it's one of the great things we have our oils on hand for, right?
I know.
If we don't use them, they can't, they can't help us.
I know. I love oils. I was telling Joey, I've been using oils for probably 5 or 6 years. And I think oils are medicine.
They are.
And I would go to a bottle of peppermint to put on my temples before I would take Tylenol. Stuff like that. So I know that we're going to learn so much today.
Yes, yes.
And I was saying earlier, I am the child here. I don't know a thing about essential oils.
Because we never learn enough. I don't think we can ever know everything. And so we all learn from each other, and we share stories, and just
wonderful.
See how we can integrate them in our lives. And you touched on medicine, and you think about like way back in the olden days, right? I don't know what the olden days are, but or the Indians, and they're using poultices, and they're putting on their wounds from the plants and the trees, and there wasn't any modern day medicine. And man came along, and they had this brilliant plan. We could make things synthetically, and we can mass produce. We don't have to worry about nature and all of that. But I think along the way we've forgotten where our roots came from. So there's a place for doctors and modern medicine, but there's really, really a beautiful place for old-fashioned.
Yes. So I first met you through the Pilates studio that I go to, and hopefully we'll have Amanda on as a guest too. But we first met there, and then tell us your background. How'd you get involved in essential oils and where you are today?
Well, I've been using them for about 10 years now. I think it's 10 this fall, actually.
Nice.
And it was, I was going to say a slow integration, but then again, it wasn't. I think I dove all in. I was on a quest to find alternative anything for my daughter, who was going through some really hard emotional and mental health issues. Nothing was working. And a friend of mine introduced me to actually a holistic doctor. She was a naturopath kind of doctor she was working with, and a bunch of different things. And there were these little little bottles over there that she was talking about called essential oils, and I kept finding myself drawn to them. It was really weird. And this one here, Stress Away, was actually the first one I was ever introduced to, and I fell in love. My friend Alice gave me a roll-on. You can get a little roller top. And I just like carried it everywhere with me. So I found not necessarily immediate solution for my daughter, but I found for me that it was just so grounding and beautiful, and I just found a little more balance with everything that I was dealing with as a result of all that. And then one thing kind of led to another, and I did not dive in with any kind of, all-in kind of thing, but I just started getting individual oils and learning about, we just started having all these successes throughout the family. So I have a son and a husband and a crazy dog, and we're raising it for all of us. And then I think one of the big eye openers was there are so many toxic chemicals. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but so many toxic chemicals in our everyday products, our cleaning products, our personal care products. Our skin is our largest organ, so what we're putting on us is going in us. Like lotions and makeup, especially for us women, we put we
put it all on
there. Try our best, at night, in the morning, and all these things.
Right.
Deodorant, horrible. And so when we look and we dive deep in that, and get kind of scary, but all those toxins are making us sick. So you wonder why people are struggling with all these different issues. I'm not a medical doctor or anything, but there are consequences to that. There are no consequences to the essential oils.
Yeah.
So, like air fresheners, dryer sheets, some of the worst things.
Right.
So I will have to say that was one of the first things I ever did with essential oils.
Okay.
Was I love for my clothes to smell fresh and clean, and I'd put the fabric softener in the wash, and I'd throw the dryer sheets in the dryer, and I read something about how harmful the chemicals are, and so I bought the wool balls,
the little dryer balls,
the dryer balls, and some gardenia, because I love the smell of gardenia.
Oh, me
Gardenia
too.
essential oil, and I put it on, and so that's what I put in the dryer with my clothes now. So I learned that lesson.
And you feel happy with that. You don't feel like you're depriving yourself from the dryer sheets.
Right, exactly. So little pieces here and there with essential oils I've figured out.
Good.
But you said you would just buy the bottles here and there. How would you decide which ones to start with? Like, I chose gardenia because I like the smell.
Right,
But
right. Well, that's a really, really good question. What I might suggest is think about one thing you want to address in your life. Are you dealing with a lot of stress? Do you have stomach and digestive issues? Is there a body system you want to look at? Is it getting rid of toxic chemicals in your home? I read this great thing once where it was like, give yourself a 30-day challenge, right? Go through a cupboard in your house, like the laundry room or the kitchen, or how many cleaning products do you have under the sink that you're locking up from the dog or the kids or you're afraid of somebody to get into. And then swap those.
Yeah.
And then just see how it goes for 30 days. See if you're not feeling better.
Oh,
if you're super stressed, grab some stress away and just see, does it help you feel a little more grounded and balanced? Does that make sense?
It does.
So you're not trying to do all the things.
Not all at one
We
time.
can't
Right,
all do
so
all
start
the
slow.
things,
I
can
love
we?
that.
With anything, right? We can't even exercise or anything else. But, and then you find what works for you. So we're all three women sitting here, but we're all, God made us uniquely different as well. So what helps you sleep, or you sleep, or me sleep, or if you guys all sleep, might be different, right?
Right.
So you can kind of play around with the oils that way too.
So where would you recommend finding oils? I know there's different levels of quality and certain things to look for. How do you do
We
that?
talk about that. We're like, don't go to Amazon.
super important. It really does make a difference, because this isn't just about nice smelling potpourri in your home, which actually can be toxic too. So even if you do want the potpourri, you still want the quality. But when you're looking for therapeutic results, especially, you want that quality. So you want to research the company. You want to know that the company can be trusted, that they know the soil that their seeds are planted in, where the seeds came from, that no toxins are used on the plants to what am I trying to say? Spray them, right?
Right.
To get rid of
no pesticides.
That's the word.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Right, because you don't want that on the plant, because the plant is going into the oil, right?
Yeah.
That's how what we're using.
And if it's a reputable company, they're going to have all of that stuff on their website. You'll be able to read about it.
Yes, and even down to the timing of when the plant is harvested and how it's harvested, how it's distilled. There's really only one or two companies that I would recommend. There's only one that I know, use, and trust, but I know there's one or two others out there. But I was going to tell you too about when I got started, and I didn't know any other brands, and in fact there weren't a lot of brands out there 10 years ago. But I found that as I was introduced to others, some of these dollar store ones, just the difference in the smell and almost the burning in my nose were just horrible. And so it's a really good thing that they've become more popular now, because people are more open-minded to alternative health and just other ways that we can, I like to think of it as staying under the proactive health umbrella, right? So we just stay here, and keep our emotions in check, with a whole nother thing we can talk about. But we're going to be healthier, and we're going to be less needing to go to the doctor and that sort of thing, and rely on those meds. But so it's really good that people are open-minded to it now, but they're not understanding quality. Right. So
and they also, I'll be the first to admit, I see the ones at the dollar store or Target or wherever, and I'm like, oh, those are cheap. I can buy every flavor of that.
Right. And so sometimes that's a good point too, because sometimes you can think, oh, this one's cheaper than this one, but how much do you need to get the results that you're looking for with that cheaper bottle? Or do you only need a drop or two? There's about 250 drops in a bottle of essential oil, a full bottle, and each drop is super powerful.
Right. You just need a little bit, right?
Yeah, you just need a drop or two. So it's like, 25 cents for a headache. With your peppermint. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but so we're open-minded about it, but people go into TJ Maxx, and I love TJ Maxx, but they're just essential oils, and they're grabbing them, and that's really scary. So it's like, we could go buy a nice piece of jewelry at Tiffany's, or we could buy a lookalike at Walmart. There's a difference, right?
That's a good comparison.
There's a difference.
I never heard it put like that before.
But so you really do get what you pay for.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. But again, back to what we were talking about, the farming and the planting and the quality, that whole, I like to refer to it as seed to seal, right? From the moment it's in the ground to the moment that's in the bottle and sealed and sent to your home. Yeah. You want to know what's going on.
Right.
You want to know what's in that bottle.
And I think it's a lot like other things that we've talked about. It's that awareness and being mindful of why you're choosing to do this. You can go get something cheaper, but you're choosing to do this because you want quality products on your body and in your body. Because you can, if I'm understanding the little bit that I know properly, sometimes you can put it on your skin. Sometimes you can eat essential oils. How do you know how to do all that stuff?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I'll tell you one more story of mine. When I sometimes when I bought the first kit that I got, it came with cilantro and something else, maybe rosemary or whatever essential oil.
Herb.
And again, I was like, I don't know what to do with this, but I was cooking something and I needed cilantro and I didn't have any. So I was like,
you put a drop in there.
No. I was like, let me just put this in there.
Oh, no.
Whoopsies.
Very strong flavor.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Yeah.
One drop would have done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are the things that people like me need to know.
Yeah.
Is you don't go crazy with
I've
it.
heard a tip with cooking. If you take a toothpick and you just stick it in the top of the bottle and you literally just put a toothpick amount.
Yeah.
Because you can always add more, but you can't take it out, right?
I will
But
just
you learned.
say I'm not a good cook in general. That did not
limit
gain
yourself.
me any popularity points
Didn't
with
give
my
you any
kids.
Pat yourself on the back for
Yeah,
good
exactly.
job.
So yes, all
Yeah.
of the different ways that
Yeah.
you can get essential oils. How
There's
how do you do
basically
that?
3, right?
There
Okay,
is.
walk us through.
Okay, so there's basically 3 ways that we use them. The first is what you might think is more traditional. It's aromatherapy, right? So it's inhaling. So we can inhale through something called a diffuser, like this guy sitting here, which basically you fill with some water and you add some drops of essential oil, and then the water disperses the essential oil all through the room. So we can all get the benefits of the stress away as opposed to hugging it to myself.
Let me tell you what I used to do. So I have 3 children, and they use oils now. But when I first started using oils, they were like, "No way, Mom! What is that? I'm not going to do that."
Yes.
So I used to diffuse stuff around the house so that I knew that they were getting the benefits.
They're getting it,
and they
right?
couldn't complain because they didn't realize it.
Yeah. Or, you know,
awesome.
a kid comes home from school and they're not feeling well. You don't want the whole house to get sick. You can use ones that
Right.
can help, you know, kill the germs. Or the stinky dog comes in from the rain, you know, or you cook too much with garlic. Or, you know. So we can zap our odors in a healthy way.
Yes.
You know, and disperse it all through the room. I know Amanda in the studio always has something wonderful going, and there's a lot of people coming and going in there, right?
Right.
So,
Yes.
so that's one way of doing aromatherapy. Another way is you have a diffuser with you all the time, right in your hands. And here, you guys can try if you want. You just put a little drop in your palm of your hand. Yep, and you just rub it around like 3 times and cup it over your nose. And just take deep inhales. You can, you know, set an intention. You can be prayerful. You just want to breathe that in and
Oh, that smells so
just
good.
rub it in your hair.
Yeah,
It stays
put it on the back of your neck,
long.
right?
Everywhere.
So that's kind of aromatherapy in a nutshell. And then we can apply it topically as well. So that might be if you have a targeted area you want to work on, you just worked out, your muscles are sore, you know, maybe a headache, that type of thing.
I have a question.
Yes.
It seems like I read something, but I may not have. Can you put all oils directly on your skin? Are there any that would either like burn or
Well,
irritate?
putting it directly is what we refer to as neat. It's just a straight oil. It really depends on the oil and your personal preference and sensitivity. A lot of people like to use what's called a carrier oil. This one's a blend of different carriers, but like if you think coconut oil, jojoba, grapeseed, all of those, they have a bigger molecule to the oil, so it helps slow the rate of absorption of the oil.
Maybe that's what I was
So
saying.
yeah, so you could put that jojoba oil on and then apply your essential oil, and it's going to slow the, I think I said this, but slow the rate of absorption. It doesn't dilute the potency, the powerfulness of it, but you're not going to feel it as much. So for example, oregano and thyme.
I was just gonna say oregano. I learned the hard way with oregano.
Yeah.
Did you cook with it?
No, I put it directly on my skin, and it's a hot oil, so
It's
it burns.
a hot oil. Now, my husband used that on some moles that he was dressing, or a planner's word or something. But anyway, he loves it. He feels like, ooh, this is working. You know, I use it, and we can talk later. But I use it in Raindrop because it's a cleanser oil. It's really high in phenols, which is the whole chemistry of essential oils. But
So what is Raindrop? Joni mentioned that too.
Right, are we ready to go there yet? Or do we want to finish the ways?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh,
You're
no.
jumping
Well,
ahead.
I'm always excited to talk about Raindrops. So
I know, and I definitely want to, but for anybody that's listening that may not know how to use the oils, let's finish that topic and then we'll get there.
So do you so since you don't know about applying topically, did that make sense to you, or any other questions topically?
But so like you mentioned the oregano and apparently thyme. So how do you know the ones that are hot? Like,
I would just say,
trying it and finding
think
out.
of you personally. So, all right, this is good. So if you're a little kid, right, their skin is a little more tender. You might want to take more precautions with the carrier oil. If you know you're just sensitive, I just tend to be sensitive. My skin is sensitive for whatever reasons. It's always good to go slow and just a little bit first, right? And ease yourself in. Another great place topically to apply the oils is on the soles of your feet. It's really actually super fascinating, I think. But the soles of our feet are like little mini maps of our body. So all of our organs are there, and our skin is super absorbent down there and a little tougher as well, so it might burn less. It's going to absorb right into all your organs. Even if you don't know what this map is, just wipe the oils on the soles of your feet and it's going to get in you, because it's going to carry up all those nerve endings and all. But it's like the instep of your foot is your spine, and it really correlates. So the big toe is your brain, and you have your eyes and your ears and your sinuses, and all your lungs are in here. Your colon goes across. You can get to your heart. It's amazing.
I know that about putting the oils on the bottom of your feet, but I've never seen the map like that.
Oh, really?
So that's really interesting. Yeah, can I look at
you want
that?
to take a close look?
Yeah, that's really interesting.
So it's not essential oils, and I hope this isn't bad for me to say. My mom used to put Vicks Vapor Rub on the soles of my feet when I was coughing.
Right.
And I don't know how it worked, but it did.
But how did she know that it was your soles of your feet?
I have no idea.
So we can make our own
old and
healthy
wise.
version of Vicks.
Okay.
My understanding is Vicks is a no-no.
I was going to say, I know
you
it's
can do your
not.
research. I won't slam them. But take like some coconut oil and include any oil that's good for your respiratory health. It might be a blend depending what brand you use, but think like eucalyptus type oils and peppermint. Those are all good for your respiratory system support. So you could mix that with a little coconut oil, and you could rub it on your chest, rub it on your feet. Yeah, she's getting to your lungs.
Yeah.
That's great.
Isn't that funny?
See, she knew.
Yay,
She
Mom.
knew. That's right.
Except for the Vicks, but we'll give her a pass.
Okay. That's okay. Exactly.
Yes. So, and then the third way is internally. And again, I would caution, please don't use any old oil internally. Personally, I can only recommend the ones that I use. They have I use Young Living, and they have a white label on certain bottles of oils that are called vitality oils that just kind of give you the little heads up that these are okay to take internally.
Oh, okay, nice.
But there's different criteria. What if you use? I know you use a different brand, and I know that some of those oils are fine too.
You know what I do? Every morning I put 2 drops of frankincense under my tongue.
Awesome.
Every morning I start my day with
Frankincense
that.
is amazing.
And what does that do?
Well, it raises your vibration.
Really?
Yeah. Well, we're electrical beings.
We're energetic beings, and we want to always be at the highest vibration that we can.
Yeah, and the more that we can raise our vibrations, the healthier we are too. Think of like when do you get sick? You've probably been sad, depressed, stressed,
Run down.
Yeah, we need to keep our immune system up. So we eat healthy foods, we exercise, we use essential oils with high frequency.
So do you just Google high frequency essential oils? Like, how do you know to put frankincense?
I just know that frankincense is one of the highest vibrating oils there is, right? Is rose higher though?
Rose is super high.
Yeah. I finally bought some rose.
I have a blend called Joy, and it has a little rose in it, and it's a great one to just use as an all-natural perfume. And again, so like it's not these things stress away, joy, frankly, they're not wiping away the troubles of the world, right? The troubles of the world are just still there.
It's just helping you.
But when we can stay in control, And that actually might be a good way of talking about, there's this fabulous book, it's called Heal Your Body by Louise Hay.
One of my favorite books.
Is it?
I have a copy for you.
I want
Oh,
one.
good, yeah. And it seems kind of weird, it may seem weird at first, but I truly believe and have seen time and time again that our emotions are at the root of a lot of physical ailments. And sometimes it's like, well, if you don't know and you've been trying and trying and trying all the traditional and all the physical and reasons why, pause and get introspective, right? So our bodies have an innate ability to heal if we'll only listen to them.
Yeah.
So think about it, And so if you look something up in here, like I just opened this randomly, eczema, and it gives you an idea of an emotion that might be tied to giving you eczema. Breathtaking antagonism, mental eruptions. So then you can think and say, does that relate? Does that resonate with me? And then they'll give you an affirmation. Harmony and peace, love and joy surround me, and in me, I am safe and secure. So you might find an oil related that can help you feel safe and secure, and then recite that intention and see again, right? Because no harm, there's no side effects, no harm is going to come from it.
Right.
And you might just...
But a lot of good might.
Yeah.
just might.
Yes.
Yeah. So frankincense, when we keep our vibrations high and do everything we can, laughter, right?
Laughter is the best medicine.
It is the best medicine. It really is, right? It just really helps.
Laughter and
helps our
sunshine.
days.
That's right.
So, yeah, so those are kind of, does that make sense for you
Yes,
guys?
it does.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of having an oil that kind of tells me if it's okay, because
Sometimes you get the idea right from the name, right?
Yes.
Stress away. You can kind of guess what that might be good for, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so now can I ask about raindrops?
Yes. It's time, Joey.
Yay! Okay, so raindrop. She keeps talking about raindrop. I don't know what you're talking about.
I would love to introduce you both to it, so we'll
Okay.
have to talk about that after. But so raindrop I learned about way back in the beginning when I was first introduced. It was just, raindrop technique. But something was calling to me about it again, and I actually bought a massage table, and I thought, I'm just going to play around with this and see. And I kind of self-taught myself a little bit, and then sadly, I don't know, the way I'm kind of looking at it now is like the massage table went in the corner of the room in my heart and started collecting dust for years, right? But it was waiting for me. And in the last 2 years, it's just been calling to me again. And, through a lot of changes in the world, right? Jobs, everything that's going on, personal stuff. I thought, I'm going to do this. So I went and I got certified. So what raindrop is I like to think of it as massage, acupressure, and reflexology all rolled into one. Ooh. And it's like powerful body reset, but it's all driven through the power of essential oils.
So you use oils through the whole thing?
Throughout the whole thing.
Oh, can you walk us through it?
Yes, yes. So we can kind of say there's 3 main parts. We start with a balancing. So we'll use an oil. These are Young Living brands, but they're grounding and balancing oils, basically. The one that I use is called Valor. And we'll energetically connect, right? So we can kind of get grounded. You can set your intentions, be prayerful, leave the woes of the day behind. And then we start on your feet with something called VitaFlex. And VitaFlex, I can teach you real briefly, but you kind of line up your 4 fingers like little ducks in a row, and you're very gently but firmly rolling the fingertips in a pad, tip, and nail rotation, right? So you're waking up all your nerve endings, and you're firing electrons. Again, we're all electrical beings, and then you're sealing the deal, basically, closing the circuit. And you do that in this rolling motion. And we start, we'll go back to the soles of our feet.
Okay.
So it's been found that viruses and toxins lodge in our spine. So everything that we're doing in Raindrop is opening up our systems, right? Our circulatory system, our lymphatic system, so it can flush out all these toxins. Because even if we're being as healthy as we can, we're still absorbing it. Yeah. So we start on your feet, on the spinal reflex points of your feet, and we do that rolling motion up the arch of both feet. And we go through a series of 8 oils, actually. And they're very specifically selected. Oregano is one of them. Goes into a whole chemistry of essential oils, but they're phenols and monoterpenes and sesquiterpenes are high in all of those. We can do a chemistry class another time. But basically they're cleansers and they're resetting and they're reprogramming us like on a cellular level. Oh, wow. So on our feet, it's, you know, the nerve endings in our feet, all these spinal reflex points, it's going out to all those organs, up our spine. And then we do the same thing on our back, on our so-called real spine, right? Right. And on a real spine, we have all these nerve endings coming off of our spine. So when we're moving those muscles, we're opening this up and we're cleansing the lymphatic system along here. And then it's a different motion, but also some VitaFlex up your spine, and a very light feathering technique is used. So it's very gentle, very relaxing.
So do you go through the same 8 oils?
On both feet,
so you do your
and
feet
then
up your spine. Okay.
Yeah. Then the motions that we're using are driving the oils into our body and out those little nervous systems into all our organs. And then sometimes you'll see like little red spots or something come up on your back. Sometimes you don't, but if you do, you can correlate it to what, oh, that's in the area of your heart. What else do we know? You might think like, oh yeah, I've been having trouble, or maybe, you know, again, does it resonate for you? I'm not the doctor. This healing comes from God and through these beautiful products and our innate ability to heal. We want to facilitate our own inner healing, but so you can think about that. And then you might also say, well, stress is stored in our heart. You know, or grief is stored in our lungs. And so again, we go back to the emotions tying into the physical. Yes. And I just love the whole, like, it's kind of a mind blow, isn't it?
It's just,
like,
but it's all connected.
This holistic, just beautiful
I think
process.
of that old stuff, like, I don't know a lot about it, but you know how like acupuncture, like they'll put a needle here to help you there. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, we're all like interconnected, these meridians and nerve endings and this fabulous thing called our body, right?
Yeah, it's so cool when you just said that. So I go for acupuncture, and when I go because of sinus issues.
Yes.
And he always puts them in between my toes and in my feet and in my calves. Yeah. And I'm like, that's so cool.
I can teach you a VitaFlex for your sinuses after that you can just self-do.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So do you now use your massage table and people come in and have this?
Yes, it's undusted.
How do people feel after they go through a session with you like that?
You know, I am so enjoying that process because it feels so good to, you know, share something I love, open people's eyes to different ways, and then like see real results. Like I can't sit here and guarantee things for you, but I've had a range of reactions, feeling just rejuvenated, feeling sleeping better. I have a friend who comes monthly and she has terrible trouble sleeping, especially in a full moon. And she had one near a full moon and she was like, oh my gosh, I slept.
Oh, wow.
Right. So it makes me smile.
Right.
That makes me smile. And then there's been some health issues too. People, I had somebody who was struggling with chronic Lyme. And so she was coming weekly. And she was also seeing a naturopath, and the naturopath could not find any traces of the Lyme after 2 raindrops.
Really?
So I don't know. I'm not making any claims, but that happened.
Yeah. So Lisa, if people were interested in finding you,
yes,
how would they go about that?
Thank you. So I am working on a website, but it's not up yet. But the easiest way really is just to text or call me, and I think you'll post the my phone number?
We will in the show
Okay.
notes. Yes.
So you guys will post the phone number, and the email, of course, is easily as well. And then I'm working out of my home in Greensboro with Raindrops, and also out of Core Integrity Pilates at Revolution Mill. And if you've never been there, that's a treat in and of itself.
Yes.
We can have pizza afterwards.
Oh, nice. That's
It's
my kind
so
of workout.
beautiful there. Yeah. So I would love to answer any questions. I'm happy to point you in the right direction to get your own bottle of stress away.
Wonderful.
And just incorporate these beautiful healing elements in our life. I don't think we really said before, but I really do believe that it's a multifaceted puzzle. And we need a little bit of everything to help us keep going, and all the help we can get. I don't know about you, but for me, for sure.
Yes, and I love conversations like this because I feel like the more we share, the better it is. Because we learn from each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you find
really
something, you're excited about it, you want to share it.
It is, and I always think that, like, well, I wouldn't keep a secret from my friends, right? Or even strangers. I know something to be good. I want to share my experience. So,
yes.
Good restaurant, good movie, good book,
good oil. I know.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
This was so informative. I will say, as the person who knew nothing coming in, I feel like I have.
You feel a little more empowered.
I do.
Good.
Are you going to go home and use those oils now?
I am.
Good.
I am. Do they expire?
And when you're in the dollar store,
Don't buy them.
Stay
just
away.
tell people, run away. Good oils will not expire.
Okay.
A carrier oil could, so if it has something in there, and I cannot vouch for any of those other things.
Right. Well, I'll have to
But
open
a
my
good,
drawer.
that's another
Yes.
consideration of a very good quality oil.
Wonderful.
Good.
Oh, thank you
This
so
has
much.
been so exciting, such a great opportunity, and so fun.
It was fun.
We have a good time.
I hope everybody watching enjoyed it as much as we do.
See you next time.
I can't wait to see who you guys talk to next. This is just fabulous.
Well, tune in.
I will.
Thank you.
So that was a good conversation.
It was so informative. I mean,
so, I use oils and you don't. Do you feel like you learned a lot today?
I feel like I not only learned a lot, I feel like I have to go right now and find some high quality oils. Like, I'm not doing my body justice by not incorporating that into my daily routine.
That makes me so happy. I want everybody to use oils.
Well, I am sold. I am in. So I may have to get you to come over and walk me through my drawer.
Oh, I would love
It's still
to.
very intimidating.
That would be so much fun.
Well, who knows? Next time we might be organizing my oil drawer.
I don't know if I want to videotape that.
I don't think we do, but it would be fun. But no, this was fantastic. I learned so much. I'm so glad that you introduced us to Lisa, because she was fantastic.
She is. And I think I'm going to make an appointment to get the raindrop therapy.
I would like that too. I think we should do it on camera.
I bet you she would do that with us.
She would. Maybe that's next season. Next season, we will take everything that we've learned this season and show the application
Apply
of it.
it.
Right?
Ooh, fun season.
I like it.
Well, thank you for joining us.
See you next time.